question whether RTA acts applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. Can anyone tell? Even after the article removal of Article 370, still RTA Act applicable?
I think it would be applicable.
Yes, the correct. The Supreme Court gave a clarification that the before that Section 2 of the Right to Information Act says that it does not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. After removal of 370, yes, it is applicable to the Jammu and Kashmir. Even from the citizen from South India can file an RTA regarding the Jammu and Kashmir and get the information. So it is across the India. You need not be that place citizen or this place citizen. You are a citizen of India. Yes, you can have the access to the information by the government of India. So that is what the RTA says. And RTA is filed by whom? Yes, who can exercise his right under RTA is that subject to the provisions of this act. I am very clear by with my word. This says that subject to provisions of the act, all the citizens, I'll repeat the word, all the citizens shall have the right to information. Yes, this act says that you must be a citizen of India. This is the primary criteria. Okay. To apply this act, you must be bound by the Constitution and you must have the applicability of the Constitution of India. All the citizens who have been given citizenship of India and who the Constitution applies, this act also shall apply. So each and every citizen who comes under the purview of the Indian Constitution and Indian boundary is this RTA Act applicable. It is even applicable to foreign ambassadors who are Indian citizens. Such people also is applicable. So the very key information this Act says that all the citizens have right to information, because the Article 9, once you become the citizen of India, the Constitution of India applies. Once Constitution of India applies, Article 19 comes into the picture, hence it's subject to pollution. All the citizens have right in this article. Okay, let me post a very interesting question. Can a child file an RTI? Can anyone answer this? Can a 2-year-old child file an RTI?
With the help of a parent or a guardian.
Yes, with the help of a parent and a guardian. So this was a very interesting question where we asked that whether the child, whether only major persons can apply RTI. Only person, because to file an RTI, the very section 6 says that it must be in a local vernacular language, and the person who is applying RTI must state their name, no representative, such as that things and all there. Very interestingly, a child can file RTI. We filed an RTA asking that question itself. We filed to the public information officer stating that can a child file an RTI, and we got an RTA reply where we contacted the Sunday Information Commission says that yes, even a 1-year-old child can file an RTI, says the Central Information Commission. Of course, with the help of the guardian and everything, even a 1-year-old child can file an RTI, and when your life and liberty is at stake, the RTI information will be given within 24 hours. We'll see the further slides. The RTI is very clear that one criteria to file an RTI, there must be a prescribed fee and you must be citizen of India. You will get the information. That is what the RTA Act specifically says. No other guidelines, no restrictions, no sub rules, nothing. You must be a citizen of India. You paid the fees. Yes, you will get the information. Yes. So this is the information. This is the RTA Act's definition under Section 2, where the information is that information means any material in form, including records. Obviously, government maintain all the records, documents. Every documents from the year of 1947, before the 1947 also, each and every document is maintained by the government. Memos. Of course, each and every government authority is communicated by memos only. They file a memo, we'll get a memo, summons, and each and memos. Then emails, since the electronically evaluated, electronic emails, then opinions, because many government authorities, many government report, a government may take a survey, a government may use another body's survey by opinions, advices. The governor, with the aid and advice of the ministry only, the governor acts. With the aid of the advice of the cabinet minister, the president act. So advices, that advices is also accessible. Press releases, Obviously, we know that government, if by way of notification, by way of press release only, they pass in circulars. The people who have read Income Tax Act may know that all the circulars will be passed by the CBDT is under the purview of RTI. Orders, of course, the government passes a government order, GOs, from the starting GO of each and every department, it is available in RTI. Logbooks and entry books, data entry, where each and every government office has their own logbook, where we can see the registered employees, where who are all the government servants working there, what is their working time, what is their attendance, each and everything is accessible by way of logbooks. Then contracts. Government enters into various private company contracts, various lease tenders have been given. Such contract is on whose money? Our tax money. Hence, the citizens have given to the access and reports. Government furnishes various reports like criminal cases. There is an FIR is there. There is an autopsy report is there. Each and every reports are accessible. Papers, samples is like, suppose you need a sample of the road sample, sand sample, which the government has procured. Yes, you can file an RTA and get this. Models, plans, data material held in any electronic form, information relating to any private body which is accessed by public authority under the law of time being in force. Even a private body which is be accessed and controlled by a public authority, that information is also available. That is what a deep and deliberate definition is given in the RT Act regarding the information. This is available in section 2 of the RTA. So let us move on. Correct. So the RT information is also public laws collected and stored by the government in trust of people. Yes, correct. Because the government is duty bound that the government should maintain the record of each and every action they take, and everything must be stored and made available to the public by way of information. Yes. Next, from whom to seek the information? This is the very important question which has been clearly defined in RTA Act of 2005. From whom to seek the information? The answer is any public authority. The word is an exhaustive definition. I will repeat it, is an exhaustive definition where any public authority, it is any public authority who we pay tax, who works for the government, who is a government employee, who comes under the government, who is nominated by the government, who works for the government, who is elected by the government, each and every person comes under the definition of public authority. It may that isn't an exhaustive definition. It's not an inclusive definition. It is an exhaustive definition where each and every person who comes under the government's purview, who works for the government, who comes under the shadow of the government, becomes a public authority. Yes, the RT Act is also defined in the public authority, where it states that it is any authority or a body or an institution of self-government established or constituted. It is very exhaustive definition. It says any authority. The word any means it's an exhaustive definition. Any authority or a body or an institution of a self-government established or constituted. Yes. What are who the constituted? Yes, the body of public authority by or under the Constitution, where the Election Commission of India, where it is a constitutional body, where it is constructed under the Constitution. So such thing which comes from the RTA. Suppose you want the data of the candidates who have been contesting election. Yes, you can file an RTA, get the affidavits. So this is a body constituted under the Constitution of India. The next one is by act made by the Parliament. I can give you very example that Life Insurance Corporation of India is an act enacted by the Parliament. Institute of Chartered Accounts of India is enacted by the Parliament. So like that, there are bodies which has been enacted by the Parliament. Such Parliament Act and such bodies are also coming into the picture of RTI because it is made by the Parliament. Then law made by the state legislature. The body such as in Tamil Nadu, we have something called Amma Unagam. It is a body which has been constituted by the state legislature. It is when such state legislature body, this also comes under the RTA regulation. Then the third point is very important: by notification issued or order made by the appropriate government, and includes any body owned, controlled, or substantially financed non-governmental organization, substantially financed directly or indirectly funds provided by the government. This definition is beautifully drafted because to make a government accountable is that the government must have funded that such body. The RTI Act does not apply to private parties. RTI is very clear that any public authority is involved in that body, RTI deemed to be applied. But the RTI does not apply to private body. But once government steps into that picture, government has issued their fund, government has entered into a contract, government has substantially funded, government has issued an order to taking over. Our government is been trying to control it, where the government has the substantial affair control over the body. Such things, that either it is directly or indirectly, it comes under the RTA. Once government picture comes to it, once government share is involved in, then such picture, such things comes under the purview of RTA. So then, how to request in RTA? Then now we have seen that for whom to request. We have seen any public authority. Public authority has been defined, and we have seen the information. We have seen the definition of the information also. Now let's see how to request an RTA. This has been clearly defined under Section 6, Clause 1 of the RTA Act, where how to request an information. First thing is that there cannot be oral means. By way of we can't go to the government office. Hey, furnish me this information. Hey, you furnished me this information. That is not practically possible. And that doesn't have a legal sanctity also. First thing is that it must be in writing. The very first condition of the RTA Act says it must be in writing. Writing can it be by way of pen and paper, or through an electronic mode such as email communication, email request, or through a request box, or any purpose. There must be a writing. There must be, the words must be put down to a paper or to electronic form. That is the RTA says. Language, then we'll see the language. Language, it may be in English or Hindi or the local language of area. Suppose in Tamil Nadu we put in Tamil, in Kerala we put in Malayalam, in Andhra we put in Telugu, in Karnataka we put in Kannada. For if that particular state government you're going to question, then you can very well write in that state government's vernacular language. If you are addressing to the central government, it must be in English or it must be in Hindi. That is the condition given by the RTA Act. And then such accompany fees as prescribed by the public to the public authority by providing the contact details. Yes, obviously we have to write the correct public authority's name, and such name is very important that you ensure that correct department it goes, and fees may be prescribed. I will explain the fee part here, how much is the fees and everything. So to request an RTA, there is 3 conditions there. First thing is that it must be in writing, and it must be in the language where if you are addressing to the state government, it must be, it is not mandatory. You can address the English in English to the state government also, but you have a comfort zone for each and every citizen, because everyone is not English knowledge person. So to ensure them to get the information also, you are allowed to write in your local vernacular language to address to the state government. And if you are addressing to the central government, it must be on English or Hindi. And to get the information, amount of fee must be paid. Let us move on to next. The fee part is that the fee is not very much high or very much low. The 1/6 of an annual income of a person below poverty line is the fees prescribed, where it states that an Indian citizen earns on an average of 100 rupees per day, and 10 rupees is the prescribed fee for the RTA. That is all the fee. To get an information, there must be a fee, because everything, to keep an accountable of giving the information also, there must be a fee must be fixed. So the government of India in the RTA Act has specifically fixed a fee of rupees 10, not more than that. There is 10 is the minimum. There will be future fees also. I will explain to it. That thing is minimum 10 rupees must be paid. It may be paid by cash deposit at designated post office. If you are giving to the central government, once you give to the your local post office, you say, I want deposit and give me a cash deposit of rupees 10 and give me a money order. They'll give you a money order by way of rupees 10, and you can attach it to the RTI letter and you can give it to them. If it is in state government, you have the of course, we being the advocates and future advocates here, we should usually carry the court fee here. You can even affix the 10 rupees court fee stamp in the RTA letter. That is more than sufficient for the state government. So next is that this is the court fee we have seen, and this is the postal order. But for 10 rupees, we can just affix it and send it to RTA. Yes. So let us come to the further section 7, section 8 of the RTA Act, where whom the application is dealt and how your application is processed. You file an RTA. You are a citizen of India. You need an information. You being a citizen, to get the information, you are ready to write, put it in writing. You put it in writing. You have accompanied the fee. Now you need to address whom? The public information officer, RTI, as per RTI Act, who is a public authority. First thing, once you filed an RTI, it goes to the public information officer. It also goes to the assistant public information officer or additional public information officer. I'll when I'll in future slides I will tell you. First, your application under Section 8 is processed by a public information officer. The public information officer, once has been once he receives your application, he is being given 30 days upon receipt of the request. The postal date is being subtracted from the date of delivery from the public information officer. He is given 30 days to process the application, to segregate the information, to channelize the information and give the information to you. And then he has two options: either to reject your request, stating the reasons under Section 8, Section 9 of the Act, which is the security component. Either he can reject your application, or he can very well he can and process your application, give the information. Hope you are guys following me, right? Can you hear me, guys? Because I'm in monotonously talking.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So this is the first thing. Once you file an RTI, you put it in writing. A fee is accompanied. It is given to the public information officer, and he's given a 30 days time and to process the information. The outcome of the result is that either you reject your request or you will process your request. And there's a provision in RTI under Section 8 where, in the state of life and stake at emergency, the RTI must be given under the information must be given to the person within 48 hours. But practically, it's not possible. And practically, we tried it, it is not practically working. Where, for example, I'll tell you, a person is being detainedly arrested by the police without any reason. We apply for the FIR copy by way of RTA stating that our life and liberty is when we are going to file a habeas corpus petition before the Madras High Court. But kindly furnish the information, we said, but we didn't get the answer. Another example, a baby was suffering from the diarrhea for severely. It was admitted in the government doctor. We filed an RTI within stating that what is the fee prescribed and what is the timing and duty doctor name or the doctor treating, kindly furnish that information within 48 hours, because the child life is at danger and his liberty at stake, but the information was not provided. So when the act, for the name's sake or the provision sake or the section sake, it says that when your life and stake at emergency, then the information must be provided within 48 hours. But on a general information, it is processed at 30 days. Yes, this is the disposal time frame where, in case it is given to the public information officer, it will be disposed to the 30 days. And if it is through an assistant public information officer, now I will tell you, when there's an assistant public information officer or an additional public information officer comes, suppose there is an village office is there where there is only 6 people are working. The total village strength itself is around 2,500 or something. So the requirement of employee for that government office is just 6 equally. And another PIO cannot be appointed, and for him the government can additionally spend salary for him. What they will do is, a village administrative officer will be there, the VAO will be there. He will be given an additional post stating that you act upon the PIO also. You be an assistant PIO, where you have been, because his work won't be much. There will be only 2,500 population. Max he will get for 2 or 5 papers per day to give. So you act upon as an additional public information officer. You have been given an additional post. So at that stage, there will not be any PIO. There will be an assistant PIO. Accordingly, the addressing will also change. As I said, when your life and liberty is stake, within 48 hours, the information must be given. What is this? If directed, in 5 days, if directed. It's a very beautiful provision under Section 663 of the RTI Act. Suppose, I will tell you, I am a citizen of India going to apply for license. I am going to my nearby RTO, which is very near to me, near to my house. I am going to that RTO. And he is saying, sir, I need to apply for my driving license. kindly furnish me the details of the application. And that guys tell me, no, no, this limit is not in your purview. This is not in our purview also. You go to that main branch office. You go to the main department, department. That department is this in this place, and this place you go. You can go ask them. Then what I'll go to that department and stating that I went to this department applying for license. It is nearby my home. They redirected me to your place and asked you the information. And what he will tell is that no, 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 this does not come into my picture. I don't have that information. I don't have that application. You go to the application center at some other place, and he will again redirect to me that place. And in the government office, that is the problem, where we will be put into a triangle position, where we'll be going in each and every place will be redirected like that. I'm very sorry. I'm going to ask an information, sir. This is the information I need. Suppose, for example, I need to information of the cost and expenses spent towards the road. I go to the transport department. I go ask them, you are the transport department. Roads are being laid. Kindly furnish the information of the road and the quality which has been made. What he'll tell that, no, 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 I only run buses in the transport. You go to the public works department, PWD department, and that department will furnish you the cost and information. And he'll redirect me to the PWD department. So what I'll go to the PWD department. Yes, this road has been laid, and it has been not properly laid, and it has been getting broken easily. Kindly furnish me the quality of the road and details of the cost has been incurred. What PWD department will say, no, 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 sir, this amount detail and all I don't know. You go to the finance secretary department, and the finance secretary will give you the information. So this redirection happens in government very frequently, and to fearing of that redirection, people have been referring to get the information. RTA has blasted like anything. No, even I addressed to an PIO wrongly, that PIO's duty is to redirect to the correct PIO within 5 days. This is the beautiful section in the Right to Information Act 2005, where I have addressed to the PIO. Suppose I'll tell you, suppose road expenses, I have addressed it to the transport PIO, the transport and transport department PIO. Such PIO must redirect to the PWD PIO where the correct information is available. Otherwise, he will be penalized. There's a penalizing provision under Section 20. The duty of the PIO is not only to give the information. He must get the information, ensure it reaches the citizen correctly. He must redirect that information where the correct information is available, where the correct data is available. The such PIO must redirect to it. So the RTA says, you don't run behind the government offices. You file one application. That information, whichever place it's available, that PIO will transfer it. You need not file and P again an RTA towards that PIO stating that. So that is the beautiful section drafted in the RTI, where you mistakenly or without knowing the correct department, you have filed the RTI. That PIO will transfer to the department which has the correct data with them or correct information with them. Of course, period between the dispatch and request deposit of fees will not be considered. And if it is further and the RTA is getting delay more than 30 days or 35 days, it means further fees required. Let us deal at the further slides. Yes, how it is disposed. Now we have filed an RTA. That PIO has received an RTA. Okay, now we have paid the fees and everything. He has been furnished information. He has totally four options. First option, give the information directly. Yes, you have filed an RTA. You have seek the information. Yes, this is the information. Next one, give payment for further fees. 10 rupees you are paid. To furnish this information, I need more fees. This is the fees amount. Yes, the government offices can get more fees because the information is not free of cost. Even though it is our right to get it at free, but there are additional fees. I'll tell you what are all the additional fees to get the information. You required to pay this amount of additional fee. So based upon the payment of additional fee, I will give the information. And suppose you have been sent an RTI to a wrong public information officer, then he may redirect it to you to correct public authority. The redirection happens within 5 days. And he says that, yes, he said, no, I am not going to give this information. this is the reason for refusal, which has been given in the Act Section 8. Has been stated that these are the information need not be given. So hence I am refusing it. So there are only four options. Either he must give the information, or he must ask further fees to get the information, or he can transfer to the different department of public authority. Fourth one, he can refuse it. Yes, in case of rejection, we have seen, as I said, I gave is information given that is been over in the first case itself. Payment of further fees, I will tell you in the further slides. Transfer, we understand it. This fourth point is very critical, where he refuses. I am a citizen of India. I have every right. I have filed an RTI. It is you are my servant. You should give the information. I pay the tax money. I am the owner of the government. It is a democratic country. How can you refuse it? Who are you to refuse it? But the Act says yes, he can refuse under such grounds, which has been specifically given in the Act itself. Even though we have the power, we are the authority, we can question the public authority, but he can refuse under certain circumstances where we will see it. In case of rejection, the PA has to communicate. Because we communicated with him by way of RTI. For that RTI, he must give that rejection, stating that you have been rejected on the following grounds. The first rejection, you must receive a letter from the PIO where you have filed an RTA stating that this is the reasons for rejection. If there is any reason, there is not any reason, bluntly rejected, he will be penalized. So it is very important that once you file an RTI and is getting rejected, ensure that there is a reason for rejection. Otherwise, you can directly file a complaint under Section 18 and he may be penalized under Section 20 with a huge cost. That we will tell you later. Next one, once you have been rejected, what can you do? The Act itself has an appealable provision because it is a quasi-judicial body where there is a State Information Commission, Central Information Commission. There are two bodies is there. So hence, this is a quasi-judicial body where there is an appealable provision like the Income Tax Act and other GST Act also. Here is also a body where you file an appeal towards the rejection, stating that this is an appeal file. The PIO has rejected me. Kindly, the superior authority above you, kindly consider my appeal. And it must be articled to the public particulars of the appellate authority. So this is the rejection. If an RTA is rejected for you, there must be a reason. He must specify the reason which is specified in the Act. He cannot bluntly say, I don't have that information, and that reason and all, he'll be penalized. He must state the specific reason, whether it is time bounded or the data is destroyed or any reason. Why? There must be a reason. Just because no, it is rejected, that blunt answers the government officer cannot give. Otherwise, he'll be penalized. So, this is the rejection case. And further, I will tell you the appeal provisions and all. Now, I said no. We say we need to pay the fees here, and we further fees is required. Already, I have paid 10 rupees, which is a huge amount for me. But you are still asking fees because the information, if it is a very minimal information, such thing can be given on a single paper. Suppose you ask records of around 60 years before, and it runs around 100 to 200 pages. The government can't be spending on printing expenses and etc. just because you need the information, because that is an additional expenditure to the government. The Act says he wants the information. No, he will himself pay for the information. Hence, you apply cost on him. So it is not a penalizing provision. It is very nominal rates only. I tell you. This information comes with cost. No, nothing comes for free. This is it. The information, suppose it is A4 or A3 paper, 2 rupees plus postal charges, because you file an RTI with the postal government. So on return he has to pay reply, further there are postal charges, he will recover it from you. 2 rupees per paper and postage charges. If it is a fixed price materials at printed cost and postage, I will give you an example for it. Suppose bricks has been bought for construction of the housing board of any state is concerned. There's particular housing board is there. The government procures the bricks from a private party at a higher cost. You file an RTI stating that you give the brick piece to me. I will test it and tell that whether the quality you have bought is right, very good quality or not a good quality. Are you cheating or not? You ask the guy, government public information officer, kindly give me the one size sample of brick which the government has bought. He must give you. He will neatly pack it along with the postage, the brick portion will be sent to you, and you can test it and file a case or something like that. So fixed price material. Suppose the brick you are getting, the light electronic things government purchase, you ask for a sample piece, that and all the government can give by a fixed price material. Yes, floppies of disclet outlet. Nowadays pen drive is given, which is been at a 50 rupees cost plus postage is there. Next one is that this is another beautiful provision in the RTI where inspection cost free for first hour and 10 rupees is charged for every hour. I'll tell you live example. What happened? My friend filed an RTI in the Tamil Nadu government asking for the records of the budget for the allocation of the tobacco and other things, other cigarette task mark and other things. The budget allocation for the period of 5 years, he asked the information. We got a reply from the PAO officer stating that it runs around 20,000 pages. 2 rupees per page. Kindly pay 40,000 rupees. I will furnish you the information. At the next moment, you pay the fees. We were shocked to get this information because he said but the information we required is around 100 pages something. But he says it is 20,000 pages, very big volumes. There are around 400 books. Each and every report I will send you. You pay that fees alone. You pay 2 rupees per page. Pay 40,000 rupees. I will give you. But I need only 100 pages. So this has been an hindrance to the citizens where higher cost is imposed by the government by way of printing and charges, and they have been surplusly getting the money. This provision, section 6, this provision is very beautifully drafted, where I myself go to the office. You don't give me the information. You show me the place. I will take the information. You go to that office. You, by way of inspection, you take whatever the information photocopy and then come out. Inspection. You go for an office. You get an inspection. You suppose you go to the public works department. You get, they said, show me this particular document. I just want to inspect. Inspect it. Get a photocopy. Come along with. That is the beautiful provision in the RTI where first 1 hour is free. Other hours and all, it's been cost 10 rupees per hour. So this is the one of the beautiful provision in RTA, like the redirecting provision. So these are all the definitions and terms is given in the RTA, where assistant public information officer, appellate authority, IC means information commissioner, who deals the appellate authority questions. Then state information commission, central information commission, DOPT means Department of Personnel and Training. This department trains the information officer and everybody. This is a training department. The first appellate authority is the State Information Commission. Second appellate authority is the Central Information Commission. The person who is dealing the appellate authority is the Information Commissioner, and the person who filed the RTI has been filed is the Information Commissioner. This is what the terms is mentioned in the RTI. So then this is the process. It is by seeing it will be difficult to understand, but if I explain you, it will be very easy. Now let me tell you. First, you file an application under section 6 clause 1. There are 3 possibilities. Either you get a reply within 30 days, you get a reply. Suppose you accidentally address the wrong RTA, wrong public officer, it get transferred, and then such information officer will give you the information within 30 days. You don't even get a reply. There is no reply has been given. It has been crossed 30 days. There is no reply. The first option, you guess you are satisfied with the information. Suppose I'll tell you the first scenario. Within 30 days, you have been furnished the information. That information, either you will be satisfied or that information is not sufficient. I asked to give the information of A, B, C. You have given me only A, B. Where is the C? You are not satisfied with the information. At that juncture, another 30 days time is given to file an appeal. And then suppose that information is transferred to another department. That department gives an information. Either you will be satisfied or dissatisfied. And that option also, you have been given option to file an first appeal with the State Information Commissioner. There is no reply. You didn't even get a reply or nothing, anything. You have been silent for more than 30 days. You have 2 options. Directly you file an appeal. Saying that the information itself is not being given, you can directly file an appeal. Or which information officer who didn't even give a reply, either rejecting it, okay, you can file a complaint under section 18 directly. Section 18 is a complaint section. Section 20 is a penalizing section. So section 18, you can directly file a complaint. Of course, when it rejected, you have two options. Reason for rejected will be mentioned. Either you can file an appeal to it, or you can file a section 18 complaint. The rejected reason is not valid under the act. There are two options. So the first appeal is the next authority once you get an RTA reply, or once you even get an RTA reply, the first appeal is the only option to you. Either it is satisfied, or I'll go on appeal if my answer is not in the RTA. So for that, from 30 days, you get a reply, you file another 30 days, there is an appeal provision is there. First appeal. On the first appeal, they'll give you an answer. If the answer is not satisfied in the first appeal, obviously you can go to the second appeal. If the second appeal is not, if it is satisfied, you can be silent. In the second appeal is also not satisfied, directly you'll go to the High Court. So this is what the provision says, that it is very simple. You get the information, three options. Either you'll be satisfied, dissatisfied, or transferred. Satisfied, but the all the information is not been provided. First appeal, second appeal, High Court. Second option, you have been transferred, information is given, no information is given, then you go file first appeal, second appeal, High Court. You've been rejected. Rejected reason is not valid as per the Act, Section 18 complaint. Rejected is there, but is as per the Act, but still you want to challenge it. You file first appeal, is not satisfied, second appeal, High Court. So this is all the appeal provisions under Section 7 and 8 of the Act. This is the appeal provisions. Everything is covered in this picture. So this is very simple, as good as a normal thing where you get an information, public information officer, you are not satisfied, you go to the State Information Commission for first appeal. State Information Commission, you are not satisfied, you file an appeal towards Central Information Commission. Central Information Commission is not also giving proper answer. You go to the High Court for the finality of decision. Or the reason is not very valid, I will directly go file a complaint under Section 18 of the RTA Act, where they will inspect and impose direct penalty on the public information officer. This is what the RTA Act is all about. RTA Act, either you get an answer, you don't get the answer, you are dissatisfied with the answer is being not specified to you, you file an appeal or file a complaint. This is all RTA Act about. So people who want to get a screenshot, or you can ask me personally, I'll give you this chart. This is all the RTA, the whole scenario and picture is all about. And then the count of 10 to 15 transit time days is excluded in the 30 days, because I'm very keen on 30 days, even 31st day you can file an appeal. So in 5 to 10 days, the transit time to get the letter to you or the information to you is always excluded. So that is what the RTA whole picture is that. So yes, if you don't get the information requested, file an appeal. Then, or you can file a complaint. This is what the notes have been written. And then there is no fee for appeal. Yes, you can ask, for the information I'm getting, I pay 10 rupees. Is there any fee for appeal? No, that is absolutely free. Appeal is always free of cost. And what is the procedure for appeal? You said you have to write a letter, writing, language, and everything. And what is the provision for an appeal and all? Appeal, whatever the information you send to public information officer, attach it behind and you file an appellate letter, normal as the same letter, you file an appeal. So that is what the appeal provision said. The order you will get within 30 to 45 days. The appeal will not be continuously getting adjournment like courts. The appeal must be disposed of within 30 to 45 days. That is also an interesting part in the RTA. Then once you dissatisfied with the first appellate authority, obviously you have the second appellate authority, which is the Central Information Commission. State Information Commission is first appellate authority. Central Information Commission, it is second appellate authority. And there is no prescribed time limit that the second appellate authority, he might take some time, because it is of central in nature. They are being piled up with many cases. Like as State Information Commission, they can't dispose it within 45 days. It may even take a period of 5 months to 6 months, because it is Central Information Commission. They are the second appellate authority. So there is no time limit to dispose of the matter. So this is the first appeal. This is the second appeal. First appeal goes to the State Information Commission. Second appeal, it goes to the Central Information Commission. So next, these are the important thing which for the state of Tamil Nadu, I have written it. Each and every state, the Chief Information Commission is common. It is common for whole of India. It is in New Delhi. It is the capital of India. But Tamil Nadu, each and every, I have given for my state, For the other state people, their respective state information commission body will be there, appellate authority will be also there, so that address will applicable to here. And these are the important sections I have been telling for the so prolong. This if I start doing sections, it will be boring, so that is why I didn't mention section. Section 3 says that all citizens have right. Section 4, proactive disclosure by the authority, because the authority's role is that they have to maintain by way of proper information. Section 6, sex clause 1 is the request to obtain information. Under section 6 clause 1, you have to file before filing RTI. I request information under section 6 clause 1 of the RTI Act 2005. Like we write the under Article 226 of the Constitution, like that, you have to write that under section 6 clause 21 of RTI Act 2005, we file this RTI to get the information. And section handling of the application, if no information in that office, I said the transferring provision, section 6 clause 3, it is being redirected to the exact officer which the office level. And section 7 says that how your request will be treated. It will be rejected, or it will be transferred, or the information will be given. There's only three options in it. And section 8 is exemptions, where the act itself exempts that citizen need not know certain information. This information are confidential nature, which affects the sovereignty of the country, which is the safety of the country. Such information, if it goes out of the picture, it creates chaos around the citizens. So hence, section 8 specifically exempts certain body to not give information, such as army, police, and other things. And police is also like you can get the information, but army and all, and I'll tell you detailedly, we'll see that there are certain bodies which can be exempted in the RTI Act. And section 19 clause 1 deals with the first appeal, where the first appellate authority, and section 19 clause 3 deals with the second appellate authority. And 20 penalties and disciplinary action, where it will be imposed penalties on the PIO, which if he gives a false information or misinformation, or he'll be even suspended from the PIO post, or he'll be transferred from the PIO post. Such actions will be taken here under section 20. So then the penalty section is here, which is section 20 of the RTA Act, where he refused to receive the application. What he will do is the upfront, it will be rejected in the PIO, stating that I refuse to get the information, the application. At that time, you can directly file an appeal stating that he has refused, even he didn't even see my paper, seeing my name itself, he has refused it. So kindly impose penalty on him. And we did not furnish info on time. The Act specifically says that 30 days plus postage time should be calculated. So for paying for 30 days plus 5 days, within 35 days, even he furnishes you the information in 36th day, he will be penalized. The Act says either you seek extension of time or something, no, nothing is allowed. The 31st day, the citizen must have the information in their hand for the RTA they have filed. The Act is very strict on it. And with the malified intention to deny request, I see my upfront, my seeing my face, or the document is very serious in nature, which is against the government, and then such information they are denying means we can file an appeal or file a complaint on section 18, and knowingly giving the correct information or destroying the subject, you will be penalized very seriously. Of course, obstructing furnished information, yes. Suppose I will tell you 30 days has happened. He furnishes you the information on the 36th day. 6 days, the 250 rupees per day it is calculated, or 5 days, the 1,500 rupees will be calculated, and such penalty will be given to you. So that is the thing. He'll be penalized from the salary, or disciplinary proceedings will be, black mark will be given to him up to the amount of rupees 25,000 till the application or taken or information is furnished. And if it is a very very dangerous nature, he is destroying the subject, or any castical remark is there, very any on a particular reason he has been denying information, then he'll be considered for a disciplinary action. Then the obligation of public authority is very important, will be section 18, and also deals with it, where every public information PA, public authority, shall maintain all the records duly catalogued and indexed in the manner, and ensure that all records are appropriate, computerized, and connected through network all the countries different systems to access the facility. It is role of the, of course, digital India is being imparted here. DigiLocker system has been given. Each and every government data must be digitalized. All the paper format is scanned and now being digitalized solely by the government. Even blockchain technology is also being information in, like categorized for the land matters and the other land document papers. Hence, it is the role of the public information officer or the public authority to maintain all the records. For that, the RTI ensures that the public authority should maintain a record and should carry the information until it reaches the every citizen. So that is the obligation under the RTA Act for the public authority, which has been put forth by the RTA Act of 2005. And then suo motu provide information, minimize the need of restoring RTA. So like that, the government, the RTA Act says that it is your duty to furnish information day to day to minimize the need of resorting of RTI. The election information nowadays, now before days, we don't even know the candidate who are contesting. We know at the day of the contest itself. Now the Election Commission of India has been putting advertisements every year. He's been given a black and white picture, symbols, and photo of the candidate who is being given in the election ballot itself. And once you voted, there is a drop down is coming. Like that, the information is been keep on increasing. That is being promoted in the RTA Act. For dismantlation, easily accessible, the information available should be in part and part and part. It should not be given in a whole bulk manner, and the info should be free or cost of medium only, like 10 rupees or 20 rupees. Like it should be a minimal cost, and it should not be a burden to it. Yes, this is the important thing which the section 8 has exempted certain organization and certain nature also. So these are the branches: the information bureaus, intelligence bureau, raw of the cabinet secretary, DRI, Central Economic Intelligence Bureau, Director of Enforcement, Narcotic Control Bureau, Aviation Research Center, Special Frontier Force, BSF, CRPF, ITBF, CISF, NGS, Nagaland Security Group, Assam Rifles Special Service Bureau, Special Branch of CID, Andaman Nicobar, Special Branch Crime Branch, Dadar and Nagaveli, and the Special Branch Lakshadweep Police. These are all exempted organizations. So you see, these are the organizations which deal with the security of the nation. They are the security of the India. They protect India by from the anti-national animals. So these are the information we can't expect to be found, and this cannot be accessed. So these are the information which will be kept at secret level, and these are the very information the public cannot be accessed because it may be misused for future purpose also. So these are the exempted organizations, and information cannot be shared where the government upfront says that you should not share the information, where the sovereignty and integrity of involved in that such information, such things cannot be shared by the RTI. And then it is prevented by courts, where courts itself share a ban on it. I'll tell you the Asifa case, which has happened, all the channels be continuously picturizing the girl's photo and the girl's name, where the Supreme Court severely condemned and said such the very information which has been derogatory marks or very secured information, which cannot be revealed, and such in core documents, suit papers, and money suit papers, or any suit you file, such papers are not accessible through RTI. That are all prevented by courts. And breach of privilege of parliament. Parliament has certain privileges where during the parliament session, there will be a security session will be there. All the cameras will be turned off. The recording live telecast on the Lok Sabha TV or Rajya Sabha TV will be turned off at that session, where it involves the privilege of the parliament, where important discussions will be there. Of course, there are trade secret is there. Trade secret, I can tell you, many government outlets is there. If suppose I go, the income tax department is there. Income tax departments has some certain method of their own trade secret will be maintained by the department. Or I can tell you the LIC logo is there. That is the trade secret they have. And I'll tell you, in Tamil Nadu we have something called the Avin milk is there. The Avin milk, and I'll tell you Amul is there. They you can't go to the that public information officer and ask them that give me the trade secret. This government to give me the trade secret, you can't ask them. And then the information received from the foreign government, that is very key point here. Suppose foreign, we have under the foreign trade is there, foreign government shares the information. We have the bilateral treaty is there. Such information cannot be shared through the section 8 denies that, and you cannot be shared. Life and physical safety of the any person. So as I said, you can't get the information of a certain person, photo or details, something. Issues under investigation. Suppose there's a very heinous crime has happened, and such information cannot be obtained. It must go through FIR only, and suppose the FIR is there, that information and all is very sensitive in nature. That information and all they won't share. That you can't get it through an RTA. So then that is all the main picture is there, and this is the online RTA. You need not always file a physical paper on it. You can file even online version. This is the applicable central government. Of course, state government they don't have it. This is the free online certification is there, and online for central government, rtaonline.gov.in. So these are the two websites is there. And thank you, VOB. I think I have covered exhaustively the portions here. hope everyone would have understood the session, and then you can ask any doubts if you want. You have any doubts you have. I have covered exhaustively with sections also. So hope you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Guys, post your questions in chat box. If you have any queries, you can ask Ragesh sir now. I think no one has any questions.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
So thank you so much,
mm,
sir, for
yeah,
your time, and thanks a lot for this
mm,
informational session. I think everyone would have enjoyed this session.
mm,
You have shared so much knowledge on RTI Act, which generally they don't teach in colleges. Thank you
mm.
so much for coming forward and taking this session. Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot for.
thank you, Voice of Barristers, for providing me the opportunity. And I think you can ask your personal info to the VOB. I am
Yes.
Advocate Ragesh. So any doubts you can ask personally. In future, you need to file an RTI or something, or you have any RTI cases relating you have any doubt, you can directly contact VOB and they'll share my details over it. Thank you so much, Karishma and Jagadish, for arranging these amazing sessions. Hope to join you in future sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.